You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. It is always our pleasure. We get a few minutes with the greatest defensive line coach to ever live, Pete Jenkins. Good enough to give us a couple of minutes. Coach Pete, it's always our pleasure. How are you?
I'm doing very well, man. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
Oh, man, you know that. Hey, you and I have a chance to talk from time to time, and I figure this would be a good opportunity maybe to let our audience in a little bit on your thoughts on what you see with this team. We'll go narrow in a bit, but let me just talk big picture. Week 1 against Southern Cal. Week 5 this last week against South Alabama. Where would you say you've seen maybe the biggest improvement from this defense?
I think there's several areas. I hadn't thought about the question in that particular way. I think in several areas we're better than we were. I think the secondary is better. I think 40 is playing really well. I think at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
The outside guys, the ends, I think they're really coming along, and I think they're getting better inside at tackle. Not good, but better. Had a long talk yesterday, Matt, with Bo. And, the thing that I would like, you already know this, of course, and we've talked about this, you and I, but the thing I would like for your listeners to hear me say is, those two guys, Kevin Peoples and Bo Davis, we're very lucky to have them at LSU. They're really good. You could look the country over and not find two better ones than those guys right there. And that's what I told Coach Kelly. I've been working with both of them for years and watching their progress and watching them grow as coaches. They're highly motivated guys, both of them, and they are extremely prideful guys. Bo yesterday, Matt, was better than he's been since the day he came to LSU. He's been so disappointed in the product on the field, the play of the product. And I think he told me yesterday, let me start it by telling you this. I told him, I said, Bo, when I went in there last year, I wanted to do it bad. I wanted to improve our situation as bad as I've ever wanted to do anything. But what I had to learn to live with was the time involved and everything. I was never able to get them real good. So what I became interested in doing is getting them better each week. And that's how I had to kind of temper I couldn't get them where I wanted. But I worked hard for improvement each week. And to see them do things that help the scheme and help the defense and thus help the Tigers. Well, that's where I think Bo, I think I got Bo in that position, to tell you the truth. He saw improvement. He's been seeing improvement. And he was really in the ditch for quite a while there and everything. But I think this, man, he sees improvement, and he says to me, the guys, the players are really trying hard. It's important for them to do it. So when you get that as a coach, you can live with that. The guys that I had last year wanted they wanted to be good, really bad. But we got better. We got better, and that's what Bo's got to live with. Now Kevin's a little bit different situation. He's got a few more athletic guys at his position, but I see them getting better also. So I think we're coming, and I don't think we're good. I think we're better. Does that answer? That's a long answer. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Coach Pete, people that listen to me talk all the time. I just want you to. I just want to know what's on your mind. You know what did this team lose when Jacoby and Guillory got hurt?
I think a lot. I do. I'm very fond of him. And last week I was talking to Bo on the phone. We got off the phone, and within 3 minutes the phone rang, and I answered it, and it was Bo. And he said, "Coach, guess who just walked in my office right as we got off the phone?" And it was Guillory. And so he put me on the phone, and I told Guillory, I said, we were talking about you. We were both struggling to find something to say nice about you, and what. And he laughed, "Oh, Coach," But I think it's a big loss. I wouldn't say that he is a great player. He's a really good player. But the thing he is a determined, tough guy. And LSU football is important to the kid. He told me he's going to come back next year and play. He can get an injury year and everything. He's going to come back and play. So LSU football is important to him. And with that room, Bo doesn't have anybody in his room that I coached. Nobody. All those guys are new.
Wow.
So I think that Tank would have given him something to build on and everything, because, like I say, it's important to Tank. And he reminds me of Bo a little bit as a player. He is a tough guy, and he'll get in there, those double teams and scoops and everything. He'll get in there and root hog and die with them. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I really admire that guy a great deal. And I know how important LSU football is in his life. So I think it was a big loss, Matt, to tell you the truth.
Coach Pete Jenkins is our guest. Let me go from the veterans to the really young guys, because what we've seen, Coach Pete, especially since Jacoby got hurt, was we've seen Ahmad Bro play a lot, and then Dominic McKinley.
Is that Ahmad Bro? That's the boy from Ruston.
Yes, sir. So he's from Ruston.
Yeah.
And
I think I like him. I think he's going to be a good hand.
So I would love to know Bro, and then Dominic McKinley is he didn't play the first 2 weeks. He's just played the last 2 games. He was coming off an injury, but I'd love your thoughts on those 2 young guys. What do you see from Ahmad Bro, and if you have seen Dominic McKinley?
I don't know McKinley to the extent I know Bro.
Okay.
I think Bro's a future star for the Tigers. From what I hear, both talk about him. He's a tough guy too. He's a guy that enjoys smacking people around, and that's important. I don't think there's quite enough of that in Bo's room. Listen to him talk, but Ahmad Bro from Ruston is a guy that when I can tell it in Bo's voice when he talks about him. He's a guy that's he's a tough guy. He's a guy that enjoys that when you play defensive tackle, But I'm not sure. I can't comment on the other boy. I'm not sure. And I've seen the guys at 31 made a really nice move against. He got a sack. It wasn't last week. It was the week before.
Right. It was against UCLA.
He had a really nice swat and swim. And there, I'm beginning to see a little coaching taking on these guys, and I feel encouraged. I don't feel good. I feel encouraged that they're getting better, and I think the ends are getting better too. I think they're playing 6. They played outside backer last year.
Number 6.
Yeah.
What's Jordan Allen?
4.
Oh, 4. Well, Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins is the one who got hurt.
No, not Harold. The one that played outside backer last year.
You're talking about Braden Swinson.
Swinson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think Swinson's come a long way this year. The thing with Swinson last year, he rushed past the quarterback a lot. He was, and that's a guy. he can be over there sitting on the bench with me. Once you get pushed by the quarterback, all that property is worth nothing back there, and really you're playing with 10. It's one of my pet peeves to see guys get pushed by the quarterback, because you like I say, if you get pushed by the quarterback, then the defense is playing with 10 guys because you ain't no good to them for nothing. So, but I see him turning the edge, and he's become a pretty good dadgum pass rusher. He always had some physical skills, but I think Kevin's helped him a lot. To be honest with you, I think he's a good player. You know, and they moved Zero Harris.
Mm-hmm.
They moved him in there to 3 technique. He's playing 3 technique some, and he's not physically the body that you want in there, but he's a guy that'll give you everything he's got.
Yeah,
and a smart guy. So. You know, last year it was my fault to move 35 in there because we were short. You know, I had 3 tackles. If I get one hurt, if I get one hurt, it means that I got 2 guys playing, and I don't know what's going to happen if I haven't done the injury. So I moved 35. I wasted 2 weeks of his life and 2 weeks of mine moving him in there. The better move was moving Paris in there. He's better equipped to play in there than 35 is. 35 is happier and better at defensive end. And he went in there, he moved in there like I asked him to and everything, but it wasn't to his liking, to be honest with you. And I think Parrish has accepted that role and wants to do good at it. So that was a good move by Bo and those guys this year to move Paris in there. He'll fight you, and he needs a little more lead in his pencil. But he's a prideful guy. You know, he is.
Coach, I got plenty of lead in my pencil. I mean, I'm trying to lose some of the lead in my pencil, you know. I mean, so I need to cut back on the beer drinking during football season.
Yeah, but I can tell by those places that you advertise on your show. Sounds like, man, I tell you, I think I need to go and hang out with Matt for a while, man. Because you got some good people that are advertising in some the restaurants and places and bar, some good looking stuff, man.
They keep me fed, Coach. They keep me fed. All right, hey, last thing for you.
Yes.
If I asked you, what do you think? All right, 5 games in, there's 7 to go. How much better, realistically, can this defense get from now to the end of November?
I don't think they're ever going to be like some of them I've been around, but they can get better. And from what they got the coaching, and from what Bo and Kevin tell me, they got the want to. So you put those two together. I talked to Christian Lockiter about a couple hours ago. He is a perfect example, Matt. Christian, God bless him. He's like me. He was non-athletic, okay, and he couldn't run. I never told him that when he was playing, right. Of course. But
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure I tell him that.
Well, he knows I feel that way.
Yeah.
But look. I he and Greg Gilmore, 2 guys that were a challenge for me coaching. But listen, in that senior year, then Christian had 7.5 sacks and Greg had 8.
Mm-hmm.
They played so hard, and they took coaching, and they were prideful guys too. They wanted to be LSU defensive linemen. They wanted to uphold the tradition that we had in that room. And I don't know the kids now because I know the ends better than I know the tackles, but you got to have that want to get you a long way, man. It gets you a long way. And one of the reasons that I left LSU satisfied, Coach asked me, he said, if you'll come and help us make the opponent punt 2 or 3 times in the game, we got a chance to win the game because our offense is that good. of course it's kind of showing up in pro football too, isn't it? I mean, Jake's killing it, man.
How about that?
He looks just like he did in college. I mean, that's like Henry Thomas. First time I ever saw Henry Thomas play was in an exhibition game at New Orleans preseason, and he looked just like he did. And I looked at Donna, my wife, and I said, that watching him, he looks just like he did playing at LSU last year.
Yeah.
And some guys make that transition much quicker than others. Jaden looks right at home to me in the NFL. I mean, that guy's playing at a high level. I'm so happy and proud for him.
Yeah.
And the receivers are doing good too. But so the sun was going down. We play in Texas A&M, and someone tells me on the sideline, they said, today, coach, in the game, A&M had 5 3-and-outs. And I thought, well, we got done with Coach Kelly.
Sure.
And we didn't lose but one game, and it looked like the guy that you saw Saturday night playing against Georgia. That's what we dealt with. I told my buddy, the D-line coach at Georgia, I said, it reminded me, the first half of that game, reminded me of our night in Tuscaloosa.
Mm.
I mean, Jalen was running wild on us, and he was the difference in the game. He's the difference in the game. He and that receiver was the difference in the game Saturday night. But here's the thing too, that people are saying Alabama took the foot off the gas in the second half, but they ran Jalen 9 times in the first half for over 100 yards. They ran him 7 times in the second half for like 40 yards. It wasn't they took the foot off the gas. It was Georgia. Georgia showed a lot of resilience, didn't they? Wasn't that unbelievable?
What a comeback, man!
I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, it was a wild game. Nothing I would have ever anticipated. But boy, it was. Those two teams. It was a damn war. Now those two teams really played hard against one another. They'll probably see each other down the road somewhere.
There's a really good chance that could happen.
Yeah.
Coach Pete, we're late for a break. Sir. We got to run. I always appreciate the time. You're the best. We'll catch up down the road, okay?
Always enjoy it. Thank you, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.